Rome, Italy has logged a shocking spike in its already staggering coronavirus death toll, with officials warning the peak of the crisis was still days away, as the global infection rate surges relentlessly upwards. With more than 300,000 people infected in Europe alone, the disease shows few signs of slowing, and has already cast the world into a recession, economists say. In the U.S., which now has more than 100,000 COVID-19 patients, President Donald Trump invoked wartime powers Friday to force a private company to make medical equipment, as the country's overburdened healthcare system struggles to cope. Today's action will help ensure the quick production of ventilators that will save American lives, Trump said as he issued the order to auto giant General Motors. With 60% of the country in lockdown, and infections skyrocketing, Trump also signed the largest stimulus package in U.S. history, worth $2 trillion, $7.36 trillion. It came as Italy recorded almost 1,000 deaths from the virus on Friday, the worst one-day toll anywhere around the world since the pandemic began. In the United States, known infections jumped past 100,000, the world's highest figure, with more than 1,500 deaths, according to Johns Hopkins University. In New York City, the U.S. epicenter of the crisis, health workers battled a surging toll, including an increasing number of younger patients. Now it's 50-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds, said one respiratory therapist. To ease the strain on virus-swamped emergency rooms in Los Angeles, a giant U.S. naval hospital ship docked there to take patients with other conditions. In New Orleans, famed for its jazz and nightlife, health experts believe the month-long Mardi Gras in February could be largely responsible for its severe outbreak. "This is going to be the disaster that defines our generation," said Collin Arnold, director of the Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness for New Orleans. But as Europe and the United States struggle to contain the pandemic, aid groups have warned the death toll could be in the millions in low-income countries and war zones such as Syria and Yemen, where hygiene conditions are already dire and healthcare systems are in tatters. Refugees, families displaced from their homes, and those living in crisis will be hit the hardest by this outbreak, said the International Rescue Committee. Over 80 countries have already requested emergency aid from the International Monetary Fund, IMF chief Kristalina Georgieva said on Friday, warning massive spending will be needed to help developing nations. "It is clear that we have entered a recession that will be worse than in 2009 following the global financial crisis," she said.